Good evening, everyone. My name is Torlo Amos, and I just want to thank everyone for volunteering for this huge canvassing weekend. I really appreciate it. I appreciate all the support that you guys have shown. So tonight, I just wanted to take some time to do some digital training for those who may not be familiar with canvassing or door knocking as we call it. I want to provide you the reason why we canvass, go over the Vote to Vate app that I've been asking to you guys to download, and lastly go over the script. So all of this I want to try to do it in less than 10 minutes. I know it's a Friday evening and maybe some of you may not be able to get to this video. I was hardly able to get to do it, so I'm glad if you guys take the time to listen. So let's talk about the purpose of canvassing or door knocking. It's really to build relationships with our voters. We want to get that face-to-face conversation going on. It has been found statistically that it is the most effective way to reach out to voters and increase the likelihood that they will vote for the candidate that is actually canvassing or that they're actually engaging with. Second, it helps to identify supporters. So we want to know or see the big picture. So we're trying to identify who my supporters are, who are not my supporters, and who are still undecided. This information will help us decide what or the strategic plan of action moving forward with the campaign. And lastly, we want to gather data. So with identifying our voters or our supporters, we want to collect that data. So again, it will help us to make decisions moving forward with the campaign, who we still need to talk to and who we can stop talking to because they've already made their decision. With time being of the essence, it's very important that this data is accurate and correct. So that's why I'll also go over the app with you that collects that data for us. So again, we are building relationships, very important. We are identifying supporters, and we are collecting data this weekend. So I want to make sure that everyone has what they need. I have sent you the script, which we'll be going over, and I'm also again asking you to download the Votivate app. So that the Votivate app, which is like motivate, because that's what we're trying to do, but it's Votivate. We're trying to get those people to vote for my campaign. You will also receive a campaign t-shirt that will help to identify you as you're out canvassing. So let's quickly go over the script. So when you first go knocking on doors, you first and foremost want to make sure that you're talking to the right person, and that person is the voter that you're actually talking to. So when you go up and you knock on the door, make sure you have the person's name, which will be in the app. So we'll say Mr. Thompson. So you knock on the door and you say, hello, is Mr. Thompson there? And if they're not there, you want to make sure to thank the person for their time. If there's more than one voter, you can ask to talk to any one of those voters. But if they're not there, you're going to make sure that you mark that in the data point and thank them for the time. Read the literature as well. There's no point of talking to someone who is not a voter or not a resident of the district. We want to be as time sensitive as well, not only for me, but for you guys who are canvassing. Why have a whole conversation with someone who is not going to vote? So the other thing is that you want to, excuse me, you don't want to read the script verbatim. You want to get familiar with the script, get to be comfortable, practice with someone in your home if you can. We can also practice tomorrow morning or Saturday morning, Sunday, whenever you signed up for to go over the script. You want it to be a conversation, just like I'm sitting here talking to you. You want it to come with ease. You want people to know that your candidate is a relatable person, so you want to be a relatable person. As easy as that. It should be a natural interaction, like making a friend. And some of you guys might be like, I'm not great at making friends. Nobody really is. But you know what? You're going to put your best foot forward. And for those who this is your first time, it's really going to help build your self-esteem and self-confidence. So you don't have to read the script verbatim. Just be familiar with it. So the script that I sent out, you will go to the resident, of course, like I said, and you will ask. So you say, hello, is Mr. Thompson there? And then you will identify yourself. I would say, hello, I will use my daughter's name instead of Kamasa so we don't get confused. I said, hi, is Mr. Thompson there? My name is Amiola Amos, and I'm volunteering with Torlo Kamasa Amos campaign for state representative. I'm just dropping by to see if you have a second to talk about voting in September. Then you want to respond appropriately, meaning that if there's like, I don't have the time, I'm too busy, whatnot. Thank you for taking the time. I also have some literature, so when you have the time, you can read over the literature at your convenience. Thank them for the time and move on. Simple as that. If they are willing to talk, great. Well, Core, as people know her, has spent her life working in our community and fighting for working families in Rhode Island and Massachusetts. She is a mother, a fighter, and a survivor of a double lung transplant. And that pretty much sums up my story. You want to tell them why you're supporting me. I'm supporting Core because she knows how to advocate. She's persistent, and I know she'll make a change. I'm tired of politicians who are about self-interest. I feel we need new people in our state house, and Kamasa is new. Now, this is something I wrote for you guys, but if you guys know me and you guys have other things about me that you would like to highlight, that is fine. Um, Anything that is relatable or personal to you that you know about me is fine. Um, not too crazy, but if you have questions, of course, you can bring them tomorrow morning. Then the most important question for data collection: can CORE count on your vote, not just support, count on your vote on September 13th? So in the script, I said support, but the key word is vote. If it's a yes, thank them for their time and their support, and you can wrap up your conversation and move on. If it's a no, I understand, and you have a great day. Thank you for your time. You want to be polite and end the conversation. If it's a no, they've already decided who to vote for. We're not trying to persuade. We're not trying to argue. We're just saying thank you and move on. If they are unsure, then you ask, do you have any questions about Cora or what she believes in that might help you make a decision? You might want to again share your reasons of things you know me, things you know about me, or you can direct them to the website or telephone number or any of the many communication platforms that I have. So again, after that, you would thank them for their time and then you would move on. So it's really, really that easy. Conversations don't really take a long time. Some of them do, some of them don't. Excuse me. So some questions that people also have is, if the person is not home, make sure that you just thank the person that answers the door for their time. Leave the literature. How long you should wait at a door? About 30 seconds. So once you get up to the door, ring the doorbell or knock on the door. Make sure that knock is effective. Okay? Well, you not want to, you don't want to scare anybody. I try to make mine harmonious, like, yeah, all that, yes. But 30 seconds, if you don't hear any motion in the house, make sure you leave the literature. Do not leave the literature in the mailbox. It is illegal. It does not have postage, meaning it's not paid for. So you want to leave it on the door, on a handle, behind the mailbox, anything like that, on the window screen. Nowhere in the mailbox. Okay. And then move on. If you do hear motion in the house, like somebody's coming near the door, wait a little bit, see if they open the door, and then you can begin your conversation. So that's it with the script. Not going to go on about it. The second thing I wanted to talk about is the Votivate. So Votivate is an app that is actually divides up my territory, District 5, into voters. So once you sign up, I can send you a turf of 20 to 25 doors, whatever you're willing to do, or however close it is. Once you receive that turf through your phone, it will actually give you, and I'm pulling it up right now, like I said, the demographics of the voter. We have identified about 1,300 voters in our area that are consistent voters, meaning they vote in primaries, they vote in general elections, they vote in president elections, they vote for referendums, whatever. They're called super voters. So you'll receive your turf, and I don't know if you can see, it kind of looks like this. Okay. It can help you identify the street that you're on. I don't know if you can see that. And then all these little blue dots are actually houses. So you could click on the blue dot, okay, and it would actually give you 44. It says Avantine, Avantine Ave. It says it has 2 voters. When I select the voters, you'll see this come up. Sorry for the broken phone. And I'll go over what this means. And again, we can go over it tomorrow morning. Joseph John Stephen lives here. He is a 57-year-old male. He's of the Democratic Party. It also has the phone number for those who will be doing phone banking a little bit later. Then it has these categories. Not home. So the person is not home. They didn't answer the door. You saw that. There's no car. That usually indicates they're not home. They refuse to come. Maybe you hear dogs barking or you hear movement in the house, but they don't come to answer the door. They are deceased. The person that you are looking for no longer lives there or has moved. You can put deceased or moved depending on the information you get from the current resident. Come back, meaning that they do want to hear what we have to say and they would like us to come back. Inaccessible. You couldn't get to the door. Maybe there was a locked fence. Maybe there was dogs in the yard. Maybe you didn't know which door to go to. Those are all considered inaccessible. Or maybe there was simply a language barrier. They speak another language. There's also a spot where you can put the note. So if they are Cape Verdean, they might speak Portuguese, Creole. If they're Haitian, it'd be Haitian Creole. If they're Spanish, it might be Hispanic, things like that. That will all be parts of gathering the data. And then lastly, it has a question that says, will you vote for CORE? And if it's an absolute yes, it's a strong support. If there is, well, I think she's a good candidate, I'll think about it, it's a 2. If they're undecided, it's a 3. If they're somewhat opposed, like, well, I've been thinking about this opponent, or if it's a strong opposed, like, no, I've already have my mindset on this opponent, that's a 5. And if they're, hey, I've identified this opponent, but I'm still kind of, it's a 4. So hopefully I can make that clear tomorrow morning as well. And then if you want to go beyond and go above and beyond, you can also ask them if they would like a yard sign. Why not? So if they want a yard sign, there is an indicator here that you can just press and say they would like a yard sign. So once that data is collected, we can now identify who we need to continue to go back to and who we can let be pretty much. So I hope that this has helped you. I know it is a bit long, about 13 minutes long. Just a quick overview. If you have any questions, please bring them tomorrow morning or Sunday morning. I hope you have the time to go over your script and download your app. So again, I'm excited to see all of you this weekend. I want to thank all of you for being a blessing in my life. One thing is, I want to make you all proud. And I can't do that without you. I want all of our hands to be together, lifting this campaign up. Not just me, but this whole campaign up. Okay? So hopefully I see you this weekend. Well, no, not hopefully. I will be seeing you this weekend. And we are going to have the best time canvassing because it really isn't a daunting task to just talk to people. We should be making connections in our community either way. So this is a great way to start maybe even your own political career. Who knows? So thank you and have a great evening. Bye.